Hey, what's going on, friends and family? My name is Skylent, and today we're going to be talking about the upcoming important dates in the MMORPG genre. We are going to be specifically talking about game releases, alpha, betas, and times that you can finally jump into a title and actually play and see the game for yourself. So if you're interested in what's new and actually, doing that for yourself and not just seeing some guy do a list video or review it, third person, no, you can get in, okay? You're going to be right there with us playing. And if you want to play with me, subscribe, like it, I don't know, and join my Discord. I'll be streaming, we'll be playing together, making guilds, maybe doing fight clubs, a lot of cool stuff happening, or just, ranting and shooting the shit about how some of these games are just awful. So let's not waste your time too much, let's jump right into it. First game I want to talk about is the Crowfall launch, happening July 6th. Now, this is pretty soon, and we are going to go in terms of time, temporally. We're going down this little list, I guess. But July 6th is when Crowfall finally launches. It hits a gold status, but frankly, I'm going to be honest, I think they're just kind of pulling the plug. I really think that they're just kind of letting it rip, just seeing what happens, squeezing the lemon, which is kind of funny because, it's finally releasing for the first time. But actually, the thing is that this was one of the most successful Kickstarter campaigns. It was a well-regarded, Crowfall was a crowdfunded game that was just a champion of indie marketing and obviously the crowd-funded scene. Everyone thought it was going to be great. It was a unique idea, had awesome trailers, and in the end, over time, every trailer got worse. The game started showing its bugs. People started playing it, showing the alphas and the stuff, and it really seems like a shit show, to be honest. So July 6th is really more exciting for to see the train crash. It's like, okay, here July 6th, there's a scheduled fucking train crash. Let's have some fun, guys. So if you want to play it, sure, give it a shot. I think there could no, I don't know. I can't. I really think this game is going to underperform. I think it's going to fail, and I think this is just a Hail Mary to see what happens because they do need to finally release the game. I'm pretty sure there's probably some legal shit that goes on with that, but yeah, one of the most crowd-funded MMOs out there, and it's looking bad. Every review basically is awful. The traction on social media is awful, and I think the developers know that, and I think the developers are like, okay, time to release it, get what we can get, and shut it down. So is this going to be a long-lasting game? No, it's going to go down, and I really don't think you're going to be serviced for this game as a service. But Crowfall was supposed to be cool. It was supposed to have voxel destruction, kind of like this unique action combat gameplay that focuses on different, it's sort of almost multiversal style gameplay, where you're trying to actually win the throne of the whole world, conquest it with your guilds, cool custom island shit. It's supposed to be a lot of fun, There's supposed to be weird mutators between the different zones. A lot of fun stuff was supposed to happen with Crowfall, and I think it was way too ambitious for what the team had in mind. So truly a tragedy. July 6th. Let's watch the train crash. Yeah, next we definitely got this game, Swords of Legends Online, July 9th. I'm pretty excited to see you guys have fun with it. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, I think it's going to be a cool game. That was my first impressions or my pre-impressions of it. I'm making fun of it, had a little fun video. But then I did my first impressions, or I tried to do my first impressions. Swords of Legends Online, I really do think has some heart. I don't think it's going to be pay to win. I think that overall there's probably a good amount of content in the title. And if you're into Chinese mythology, wuxia style gameplay, and overall just a really unique setting for an MMO, we haven't really had too many Chinese MMO that have really been decent. Swords of Legends Online is the one, probably, but even saying that, it's really just okay. Performance is bad, though they are updating the engine, awesome for that, but it's just man, it was just kind of clunky and awkward in that intro experience, and I only played for 10 minutes, but it told me so much that this is really a stenciled MMO. I know we're hungry for just a decent MMO, which this is going to be, but I cannot do that anymore. I need to play games that are different, that are weird, that are unique, that are going to tell a special story. And yeah, Chinese mythology is really cool, and yes, wuxia gameplay, I get it, I was excited as well, but I can't do dozens of hours of basically leveling tutorial bullshit. Guys, I've played enough MMOs, so you have to be a fan of the aesthetic, of the style, because this game is all style, which is cool, but at the same time, you're not really going to be able to flex mechanically until the end game, and I'm just not in the mood for that. There's only so many MMOs, there's only so much I can do. I can't do it. So that's not for me. I'm not going to play this game, but I really hope you guys have fun. July 9th, it launches. Ashes of Creation, mid-July sorry, it couldn't be too specific with the dates, but we're going to finally have the NDA drop, and it's going to be the NDA-free alpha, which I think is really cool. It's about time that we actually saw real people really playing the game. So I think we all know Ashes of Creation. Don't have to elaborate too much on it. Let's just go right into my thoughts and feelings. When it comes to this NDA-free thing, this is going to be the make or break, and I think they've delayed this over and over and over again because they know their game is boring. And I'm saying that very honestly, because I really think this game is going to be good, and I think it will be a success, but I'm saying that because literally inside of the streams, the developers themselves are making fun of their questing. They're like, no, I'm not going to do these quests, and you can hear the stuttering, you can hear the longing of not wanting to do the questing, not wanting to actually do the normal gameplay. They just want to get into the duels. They just want to get into what makes the game special and cool. And questing and the general everyday moment-to-moment gameplay, I really genuinely think is going to be sour and unfun and very usual. Even if the grand macro concepts and, you know, certain spots and concepts inside of the game mechanics are very unique, like the guild focus, open world dungeons, and these giant boss fights and things like that, that's probably going to be great. Mixing and matching classes, whatever, that's going to be cool. But the normal gameplay is going to be normal. It is going to be mundane, and it's probably gonna have a lot of people longing to either jump into a story game like Final Fantasy XIV, run into, you know, competitive raids like World of Warcraft, or just have fun inside of Guild Wars 2 or Elder Scrolls Online. Ashes of Creation still will fill a unique niche, but I don't think it's gonna hit a stride until far after alpha, beta, maybe even after release. I really think that we need to drop this NDA. We need people to play this game, and we need people to shit on it, because I have a feeling there will be shit to be shat on. So anyways, that's my thoughts and feelings. I'm excited to play it though. I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully as a community, we can iron out the wrinkles and make a really fun game for ourselves. Remember, mid-July. Okay, so next up we've got Core Punk, which is open beta August 25th. Now this might be delayed, possibly. I think it's been hinted at or it has already been delayed. But Core Punk is a game that actually has been recently very quiet, which is weird because I've been very happy and excited about its trailers, about its actually even like to its iconography, to its aesthetic, to its theme, to its website design. Like I'm just kind of into this game, and like, I don't know, as like a design nerd, I myself, I make websites, I make game trailers, and so I don't know, I just really like the way Core Punk did stuff. By the way, if you need my services, at skylentshore@gmail.com, okay? Email me. Anyways, so Core Punk is a game that I think if Albion Online is the League of Legends of MMOs, then Core Punk is going to be the Dota. It's going to be slower, more strategic. It's going to be more weird. It's going to be more alien, and especially with this, you know, theme of like science punk, and then also with some weird concepts, like with the armor being cosmetic and things like that. I don't know. I think it's going to be very niche. I think it's going to be very particular, probably polarizing for a lot of MMO and action RPG players, but for that unique, weird subset of players that are kind of like me, where we played a lot of different games and we really want something that's refreshing and different, Core Punk is going to be that. Definitely for more of the mature player, but in the end, no, I think it's about time. I want this. I want this very much, and an open beta? August 25th? That's pretty awesome. So as long as they're not continuously quiet, please put out more trailers, more devlogs, get this in front of streamers, give me a key so I can play it early. You know, let us promote this game, let us get it out there, because I do want an audience to see this game. Even if I don't think it's going to be viral, I do think that this game deserves some attention, because there's definitely some heart put into it. Open beta, August 25th. Even if you don't think it's for you, I think you kind of owe it to yourself to try out this game, which is trying to be a little bit innovative in a genre that is so stenciled and copied and pasted. All right, let's talk about New World. New World has a closed beta coming July 20th, and we've already played like some alphas. I actually was flown out to California twice to actually be a consultant for criticism and reviewing the game and trying to help it be a little bit better, which obviously you can see radical changes throughout its development cycle very openly. But then the game is also launching August 31st, so keep that in mind. If you guys haven't played it yet, there's going to be a closed beta. Try to get into it. I'll be playing it. I'll be covering it. I'll probably be doing some freaking, fight clubs. I will definitely at launch be doing a guild and running through the game cooperatively. Doing some PvP sieges. It's going to be great stuff. But in the end, New World has had some ups and downs for me personally. I was at first a champion. I was a literal partnered content creator, and then I'm like, I don't know, man, this game is like kind of shitty in some ways, you know? Like, I think what happened is similar to Albion Online, where it tried to be a sandbox game, but then had this weird sort of teenage year time, or like, you know, you're growing out a beard or growing your hair. You just have that awkward in-between stage of transforming or metamorphosis. That's sort of what's happening with New World. Sandbox into some fuck, and then now I think it's turning into a beautiful butterfly. I think it's becoming its own thing that's really bridging the gap of sandbox and theme park, which I think could be really cool. And it worked very well with Albion Online now that it's maturing and focusing on what makes it really great and special. New World, though, I don't know, it's a little weird. Also, some monetization drama has been going on, and Amazon Studios as a whole, even though as innovative I think they are with how they make games, they are kind of cutthroat. Like, they have actually canceled some games, they've made some really bad games, and it's like they're really being experimental and weird. And I think with New World, of course, as a game that is very clearly evolving even before releasing, we can see that. So is that going to be good for an MMO? I don't know, it worked out for Albion, and it kind of actually worked for World of Warcraft, but at the same time, it's a double-edged sword with that game too. It's really hard to say, and in the end, as long as they listen to their community, really. Now, they could be hard set and change the rules, go from sandbox to a different genre theme park, they can add in all sorts of experimental stuff, but as long as they're listening to the general consensus of the general community, then I think we're gonna have a good time, and which I think they actually are. Even though they're doing some weird stuff for some people, and maybe you don't agree with it overall, I think that they are trying to create a living world for a wealth of different players to play in different ways, and that's what makes MMOs even special. You can't just have a bunch of wolves, you can't have a game of just a bunch of sheeps, you gotta have everyone living together, and you gotta make everyone happy to an extent, but then also include systems that intermingle them. So I think New World has some really cool ideas that do that. It's just, will it perform? I don't know. I was frankly really disappointed with the alphas. We really need this closed beta, and then launch is coming up. They've been quiet for just a little bit, so, but then again, at the same time, they've been changing a lot. I don't know. There's a lot to unpack here because there's so much changing, but yeah, maybe that's a whole separate video. New World. I'm still excited for it. Let's play. Let's have some fight clubs. Join me there, and remember to subscribe so you know when I'm going live. Okay, so a set date that we have for an expansion. Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons, October 19th, which I think is a great time. You know, around Halloween, fall, a lot of people are spending time inside and enjoying themselves, playing some MMOs. I don't know why, but I really associate playing MMOs with fall. I guess it's like you're in school, you know, maybe actually you have the holidays, and you're just spending a lot of time inside because of cooler months, and yeah, you play some MMOs, you just grind it out. After school MMOs is the way to go, but Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons is probably going to be like the last big expansion for the game. It just really seems like it's on the last, I don't know, its last breath, sort of, in some ways. Guild Wars 2 was super hyper experimental with its first year, did some weird stuff with its expansion, even though they said they never would do expansions, and then its third expansion was actually well received. However, they just constantly kind of change games. The expansions are really standalone, and just overall, the game is kind of designed in a way that's played almost like something like Dark Souls, where you can just beat it and then you're done, and that's it. And that's really weird for a lot of people who play MMOs. People who play MMOs think like Final Fantasy XIV or World of Warcraft, where you just always sub, or you constantly resub, you constantly come back. But Guild Wars 2 really is a game where, yeah, you can come back for some seasonal events, you know, for the episodic content sometimes, but for the most part, you really just, you play the expansion or you play the base game, and you do the story, you do the dungeons, and then you're done. And the problem that people have with Guild Wars 2 is that that's it. You know, it's one and done. So depending on how you see MMOs, or how, you know, your concept of what you want from an MMO, this is either the worst MMO because you just complete it and it is done, or it is the best MMO, which objectively it is in many ways. I think the leveling and the dungeons are challenging, they're crafted very well, and I think the open world bosses are objectively the best. They are truly MMO gameplay content, and the dynamic events, the exploration, and overall the world setting and story is just really engaging. And actually, Guild Wars 2, its combat is truly innovative, and I think, in my opinion, genuinely the most action combat, even though it's pseudo or debatably tab target as well. So I really appreciate Guild Wars 2. If I had to say what's my favorite MMORPG, it would be this one, even though I have not, I own all the expansions, haven't played them. It really just comes from that first year and playing from the free-to-play content. So play it free-to-play, but also know October 19th, we do have a new expansion, and it's probably going to be a good time, at least for that month. For one whole month, this will probably be peak MMO gameplay. Next, we've got Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker launching November 23rd. So just so you guys know my plans, even though I've been so hypercritical of Final Fantasy XIV, I do want to kind of lean a little bit more on positivity and optimism. I'm going to be playing this game. I am going to be playing the free-to-play. I'll be doing an episodic review on just that, on the early game experience. I will be buying the expansions, leveling through that, and I think I'm going to be playing a healer. I'm still a little bit debating on that overall, but I think I will actually be going into Endwalker November 23rd. I will be streaming my gameplay as well for, this leveling experience as well as the expansion coming then, and I think I will be playing the new class Sage as well, playing the healer, and I'll probably do videos talking about, roles and stuff like that, because this is a Holy Trinity game, but also I'll probably be playing this game more as like just a storied experience. So I think I'm going to have some really chill streams where I just kind of read the story, where I just immerse myself, and if you guys are fine with just basically watching me read a book that is a video game, then I think we'll have a good time together, and then when we get to the end game, we'll party up and we'll just slap some, giant bosses around. But I'm also interested in the music. Just genuinely, that's actually the thing that's getting me the most is the music. But I want this sort of book experience. I want a JRPG, I want a story, and I guess Final Fantasy XIV has a really good story to chew on. It just comes in an incredibly expensive, awkward MMO package. I don't think Final Fantasy XIV is a good MMO. From what I've seen, what I've played, I don't think it is. But is it a good JRPG? Is it a good story? Is it a good experience for what it is? It probably is. So I will be playing it, and November 23rd comes the new expansion, which everyone is freaking just so stoked for. And just so you guys know, critically, every single expansion since the game has released has basically been better, and more people have been playing, and more than ever, Final Fantasy XIV is viral. Mostly because of the failings of other games, but Final Fantasy XIV is just really solid for what it does. Good MMO? I don't know, that's debatable, but good as a Final Fantasy game? It seems so. And so I'm definitely excited for that as somebody who's loved Final Fantasies. By the way, my favorite was 9. It's the best. Final Fantasy 9 is the best. Objectively, that's the best one. Fight me. And otherwise, we actually do have, I guess, 2 more, not really possibly dates, it's possibilities, but we do have Lost Ark. Apparently, English launch is going to be for late 2021 for Lost Ark. How much of an MMO that is, I need to play for myself, but it does have MMO elements, and it is an online action RPG, so that is actually going to be happening. English launch, late 2021. It seems that there might debatably be some pay-to-win elements. Again, we have to actually analyze it. What is your win condition? Does it affect you? I don't know. I hate complicated monetization systems, but in the end, I have friends who have played the foreign versions, who have played them and said that no, it's a decent game. It's an action RPG grinder. It's explosive. It's beautiful, and I think it's really fun eye candy. So there's that. But then again, as much of an MMO as Guild Wars 2, probably fucking not. But is it going to be a fun game that has some online elements? Be able to co-op with your friends and maybe join guilds, and I don't know. I really do think that as an MMO, it probably is debatably not even one, or it's going to be watered down. But as a game that's finally fucking launching that we've been excited for so long, yeah, well, it's happening, okay? We have at least that coming, unless it gets delayed, for late 2021. And then, in closing, we do have this game called Odin Valhalla Rising. Again, we don't actually know how MMO it's going to be. This is a really freaking weird title. Mobile game thing? But hey, we're gonna have an English alpha 2021. I don't know, man. Should we be excited? Should I even care? I don't even know. That's why I'm throwing it at the end of this, because we don't have a set date. We don't even know if it really will release this year. And then at the same time, is it even an MMO? And then is it even gonna be good? Like, is it gonna be like autoplay bullshit? Like, a lot of these games actually could be good if they just didn't have autoplay focus. Like, what the fuck? Just turn that shit off. What the hell? But yeah, no, this game actually looks gorgeous, and I think now that we got like Blade and Soul mobile or Black Desert Online mobile, we're getting some other mobile MMOs. Even Albion Online actually was built for mobile, RuneScape mobile. We actually do have some contenders of beautiful mobile games, and we have contenders for actually good, decent, and non-pay-to-win mobile games. So it's like, can we have like a legitimate AAA mobile MMO that's like actually good? Possibly, maybe, but we will have to see. So anyways, we're gonna find that out also at the end of this year. Alright guys, but that's pretty much it. That's all I can rant and ramble about. That's my sort of like pre-impressions and reviews of these games and what I know overall, the general consensus of the, the general MMO community. But always you can add your thoughts and feelings in the comments below, and I definitely implore that you do. And if you want to see more videos like this, let me know about that too. You can like the video or some bullshit like that. But these were just the upcoming important dates for MMOs this year that so far we know. If you have any more that you want to add on, please let me know, and maybe we can kind of refresh this video coming soon. But yeah, we're halfway through the the year. Pretty sure these are set in stone. These are the ones to really look forward to as of right now, at least for MMORPGs, which, hey, I know you guys love them. You either love them or you loved them, and you're looking to kind of rekindle that magic. Absolutely. And if you guys want to see that magic rekindled in me, subscribe and get hype, keep it alive for when I actually go live with the streams here on YouTube. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it. That's it for me. My name's Skylent. Much love, and I'll see you in the next one.